Contrast uncut, yeah, you know that's us. Where we only speak the real and the real rock with us. Where we motivate the people and politic on success. Oh no, we ain't DJ Khaled, but they swearing we the best.
What's happening? It's Contrast Uncut. It's season 5. It's episode 36. I want to give a huge shout out to Uncle Snoop's Army and Bobby D Presents. I appreciate you, brothers. It's your host, Zylo, and today we have an incredibly dope and gifted special guest. He's from North Texas, Lancaster, Texas to be exact, which is about 25 minutes south of Dallas. He's a singer, songwriter, musician, and recording artist. He has a classical R&B voice. I mean, real R&B where you can cook to, clean to, get into extracurricular activities with your significant other type of R&B. His voice is so diverse and eclectic that he can practically do any cover song there is. I mean, he embodies emotion and gives that ability where he sings his passion. I'm talking about it could be rock and roll, it could be alternative, it could be pop, or R&B is bread and butter. The brother just has an uncanny ability to utilize his voice and give us just emotion and melodies that we can all just enjoy. And, you know, with this brother having a bachelor's in vocal performance and music education, you know, this brother took his education to new heights while inspiring others to embrace their dreams. With the latest release, a live version of Mixed Emotions, which, you know, I highly recommend everyone go tap in, listen to that bad boy, because this brother gave a full performance when you hear this records. And, you know, it's an astounding performance of energy and mixed emotions from love to hate to happiness to death. It's Mixed Emotions. My favorite record is The One Thing featuring RIP Mode 3, which is about toxic energy and recognizing it. And if you ain't know who I got on the show by now, it's all good. We get all episode to chop it up with KHawk, Mr. Kevin Hawkins. How you doing, King?
Doing good. How you doing, man?
I'm blessed and highly favored. Can't complain. I got to tell you, KHawk, time's the most finite thing we have on this earth. I got to tell you from the jump how much I appreciate you rocking with me, rocking with the viewers. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime.
So, okay, what's another normal 24 hours for you?
Man, the gym, either early in the morning or, you know, later in the evening and stuff. But normal 24 hours is just right now I'm focused on my concert that's coming up. So that's pretty much been getting all my attention. But pretty much Thursday through Sunday, I'm always performing, and Monday through Wednesday, I'm getting ready for a performance, whether it's rehearsal, going to the gym, whether I'm like teaching, whatever. Everything consists of music, but it's just like it's consistently a daily grind for me, or, you know, a daily hustle, but it's all about music and, you know, getting myself to that next level.
You know, I love to ask that question because so many people want to inspire to be from the couch, and they don't realize as far as your voice going to go is as far as that TV turns off is where you're going to hear it louder. Until you get out and do something and be productive with your life, you got to make what you're doing your life. And by you embodying and just showcasing what you utilize your whole 24 hours with definitely tells the story of, you know, where success is going to lie. Because a lot of people get it misconstrued where they think, like, you know, hey, if I do something bad is going to happen. Consequences, repercussions. But they forget if you do something great's going to happen to you and you're going to arrive at a location. Sometimes that location is far away and it takes a long time, but patience and hard work and every step counts, and other things just come overnight. And, you know, it's just abundance of strategies and experiences to embrace about this entertainment world.
Yeah, for sure. That's definitely true, man.
I got a quote. Let me know how this quote relates to you. If it doesn't, the idea is I want you to talk about it. Are you ready?
Okay. Yeah, I'm ready.
Kill them with success and bury them with a smile. Drake.
Kill them with success and bury them with a smile. You know, I definitely would take something like that to heart, because a lot of people like to see you sweat. You know, they want to see you fail. So no matter what you got going on, you can't, even if it's something bad, don't ever let your right hand know what your left hand is doing. You know, that old saying and stuff like that. And that goes for people, especially when people are preying on you to fail. You know, so you just got to see, every day they got to see you. It's like, damn, this dude or this woman, you know, is killing it. how are they continuing to be successful every day? How are they getting this gig? How are they getting this concert? How are they on the radio? How are they getting this many streams? How are they getting this many people to follow them? Like, how is this happening? But all it is just like, what is for you is always going to be for you.
Amen.
And for the people that's praying and praying on your demise and everything like that, all you got to do, like you said, is just smile through it. They don't need to know what's going on with you, and that's gonna kill them even worse.
Hey, let them just see the work after it's out, after it's done. That's the biggest blessing, because they don't realize that comparison kills their growth.
Yeah, that's a good analogy too. I always talk about, don't compare yourself to other people, just be you, because everyone else is taken.
Come on. Your gift from God is from you. You just got to take it out and put it on you and get activated. Yeah. Talking about the entertainment game, did the game choose you or did you choose the game?
Man, it chose me, for sure, because it's just like, it's in my blood since the time I was a little boy to when I was singing, like a lot of people, like, you started off in the church choir, but it's in me, it's in my blood. Like Michael Jackson say, the music is in my bones, and so I wouldn't want to be doing anything else. And I told myself, I was just like, you have got to consistently work from your late teens up until, right at about the time, before you turn 30, because I was just felt like I listened to people, they were like, do this in your 20s and your late teens and stuff like that. So you won't have to do this in your 30s or 40s, so I've been setting my foundation all of my 20s. And now here I am, 27, and I'm just like, everything is truly coming to pass for sure for me.
That's a beautiful thing. You got to arrange yourself and set yourself up. Life is not designed to go only till tomorrow. You got to showcase that you can be all, you could be a timeline. You ain't got to be a moment in time.
Yeah, for sure.
As you began loving music from the age of 2 and began singing at 10 and being in the choir, when would you consider your first confirmation that music is what you're supposed to be indulged with your life? Would you say as a teenager? Would you say after you graduated? Was it your first live performance? Like, lace me, bro. Like, where did it come? Where
that's a good question. That's a good question. Somebody asked me that the other day, and it happened honestly. The high school that I graduated from, I was already in college at the time. I was 20, and Prince had died that year. He died in April, of 2016. So I was 20, and it's so funny. They asked me to do a tribute to Prince, like a month after he died. And I was already going to be a part of this reunion show. Like, they would always do these end of the year reunion shows, but they were bringing people back, alumni back that had already graduated from years prior to. And they asked me to do this Prince tribute. And man, it was like 3,000 to 4,000 people there, sold out show. I did that Prince tribute and everybody was just standing on their feet, gave me a standing ovation. And I was like, that moment, I knew, even though I was giving a tribute for somebody else, I was just like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing for the rest of my life. I had already been doing it, but that was like a confirmation from God. I was just like, this is what you need to be doing. So after that, I started working on my album and everything.
Hey, that's right. I gotta know, bro, because I'm a Prince fan as well as millions and millions of others. What songs did you do? What let me know. What was your select few cover songs that you did that got you really hooked into the reaction of the crowd?
You know what? Everybody start off as soon as you start off with that Adore until the end of time. I'll be there for you. And man, they was just going crazy. And then I went from that to the beautiful ones. And then of course I ended with Purple Rain. And man, like, people was just like, it was dynamic. It's like a feeling that it's just like you only get when you on stage. Like, I get that feeling like all the time. And sometimes I'm like, dang, I want to sit in the crowd and watch myself to see what these people feel. Because I know what I'm feeling on stage, but it's like, what do they see when they see me perform on stage? Like, if I could just switch places with somebody else and watch myself perform, that's how I felt that night. And I was just like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Hey, that's real. I've never heard that exact wording of trying to be in the crowd while I perform to get that feeling of what I'm doing to people. Like, one thing is a scream. It's another thing to actually identify the emotion. and relate to it. Like, what exactly is the bread and butter that's sticking that people really, really identify with, and how is it easy for them to identify that? Right there. Now, my question is if you streamed yourself and you watched yourself while you streaming, I'm just saying, would it have the same effect?
You said, what was the last part?
Would it have the same effect?
You know what? For me, I am always critiquing myself, and I know a lot of people hate to watch themselves perform, or they hate to hear themselves like recorded on audio, because it's just like we're always our biggest critic. But for me, I'm like, boy, that was pretty good. You know what I'm saying? I was like, so I'm over here, I'm like patting myself on the back. I'm like, don't be too hard on yourself. If you want to fix something, fix it. But at the same time, it's just like at the end of the day, you are still only human. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just like, realize these people are coming to see you because clearly you're doing something right. So don't beat yourself down. So when it comes to streaming or watching myself or old performances of myself, I'm just like patting myself on the back, because I'm just like, you have came a long way. But even if it's a current performance, the only thing I'm probably doing is just like, okay, do this better next time. But I'm not over here like, I'm like, no, that was good. That was good. Always got to encourage yourself for sure.
All athletes, I come from an athletic background, we have to watch a game film. We have to know what we did, because we don't see what we did. Our left eye don't know the difference from our right eye. We see the same
for sure.
thing. Take someone to say, hey, that was this, that was that. And then, the bell goes off or the light goes off. And then it's like, oh, I knew that shit. And,
for sure.
the level there. And, something that you could quickly see is like, hey, you recognize the little bit of imperfections you may have that only you recognize. And that right there is the details and the growth in your career that so many people seamlessly want to understand. And you just dropped the mega gem.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel it's always somebody that invests in an idea or puts someone in a position to reach their dreams. Who we owe to thank you for investing into your dreams?
I will always thank, for my parents, for putting me in, music lessons and stuff. I will always thank my teachers, because I'm still close to my like my elementary school band director. I'm still close to my high school band directors. I'm more closer to them than I am to my college voice professors. And it's so funny, that you usually would be the other way around, but I thank them because, they still invest in me. They still come to my shows. They still support me. They still call for me to do certain things for them. And definitely them. And then my friends, I've had the same friends for like 15 years, it, like I said, that goes back to even like going into college. Like I became friends with some people in college, but it's like my diehard friends. I've been friends with them since like elementary and stuff. So all of those people that I've, just talked about, they've invested in me my entire life.
Absolutely. It's a blessing. And it's definitely a beautiful thing to give them recognition. What has been some of your most rewarding moments in the game so far?
I think one of my biggest moments was the time I got the call from Oprah Winfrey, her team to come open up for her on her health and wellness tour, the WW tour that they did back in 2020 before the pandemic. When I got that phone call, I was like, okay, I know I'm doing something right if I'm getting calls like these. You know what I'm saying? And recently opening up for Erykah Badu. Well, I've opened up for her for several times, but recently opened up for Erykah. But not only that, just working with people like, opening up for K Michelle, doing things with like Babyface. I remember when I really got my foot in the doors when I was background singer for Kiki Wyatt in my early 20s. And when I get calls like that from people that are like, these people have big names, especially, Oprah, she's like this mega mogul, media mogul. It's just like, man, like I know that I'm doing something right. And like that goes back to saying what's for you is for you.
Absolutely, absolutely. How were you able to, one, identify where you wanted to go with your talent, but two, able to embrace your role from going from a background singer to, a full-fledged solo artist? And those is, I love all background singers because they would not have, the song wouldn't be what it is live. The records, those additional vocals would not be what it is when we listen to it. So don't get me wrong as I'm saying this, that, I'm trying to put any type of burden on background singers, but I also want to know like what was the identifying part to make you transition and transfer?
Well, I always wanted to be the front man. I just wanted to gain the knowledge and, continue to build my foundation and continue to develop relationships with, people that I know can help me take me to the next level. Cause, it takes people, people buying the people, they don't buy the product. And I was just like, this is something you want, but people always tell me, Kevin, you have to occupy all fields of music, whether, you've been a background singer, whether you're a writer, you're the front man, you're producing, you're learning how to sound engineer, you're learning the business side, you're learning the production side, you're learning the tour side. So for me, I'm like, okay, it's more than just stepping on the stage for me, grabbing a mic. I'm looking at the lighting design, I'm looking at the staging, all of that. I'm occupying all aspects of what you would consider, the artistry of what helps make a show, what helps make an album. It's a lot that goes into it.
What is something that people have misunderstood or, outright fucked up about your music and R&B music specifically?
I think a lot of times they see me, they try to say, oh, it's just like, you just R&B, and I'm just like, no, like I'm actually like an entertainer. I think some people think I'm just a singer. Like they really think until they come to my show, they'll be like, oh, I didn't know that you danced too. I didn't know that you did this. I didn't know that you did. I'm like, yeah, I do it all. And some people, I think some people forget that I do play, multiple instruments until they actually see me do it, and then as far as from a personal side, like I've heard before people have truly gotten to know me, they've felt that like, oh, maybe like I'm like stuck up or, conceited and stuff. And I'm just like, man, no, I'm one of the most down to earth people that, you could meet. But that's things that I've heard in the past, and so it's just like until they, stop looking at me through like a social media microscopic lens and actually get to know me for who I am, you'll totally see that I'm like a totally down to earth person.
Oh yeah, that's the wonderful thing about these interviews, that people get to see the real side of you. And I'm
Yeah,
not the type of person that if you said some bullshit, I'm gonna call you out on it. We're gonna walk
yeah,
down that road versus when it's real authentic. It makes this
yeah,
whole interview so transparent and
yeah,
entertaining, but at the same time educational.
yeah, for sure, for sure.
No, definitely, bro. You definitely have delivered. And something I love is that a lot of people dismiss the fact that if you do covers,
Hmm.
the covers will highlight a talent of yours and it will develop into your signature. Whether you look at
Yeah,
Bruno
for sure.
Mars, you look at Ariana Grande, you look at Justin Bieber, we can
Hmm.
keep on going down the list of how many people took that talent of identifying and then
Hmm.
used it and developed. And, what do you have to say to everyone that's doing covers or afraid to do covers, and, what it has done to transform your sound?
Yeah, I mean, well, I've always been compared to Prince and John Legend and, even Maxwell, but that doesn't even offend me. I'm just like, it's basically like I've taken what I've learned from them, even, from women, from Beyonce, Whitney Houston, and meshed that into one and made it my sound. And it's the same saying as you are what you eat. You know what I'm saying? Like you are what you put in your body. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm listening to these people, you clearly they're gonna influence me. So my music is going to sound somewhat similar to theirs. I mean, for people to say, you're always going to get compared to somebody, whether you like it or not, especially if the world doesn't really know who you are. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, and people are finding out about you every day. But when Ariana Grande first came out, that song that was going around the internet, people thought that was Mariah Carey. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just like, you're going to get compared to somebody. So it's just like, just take it for what it is. Clearly there's always everybody's influenced by somebody. Michael Jackson was influenced by James Brown. You know how many people are influenced by Michael Jackson? Chris Brown, Usher, even Chris Tucker. He's not a singer nor dancer, but it's just like so many people are influenced by you. So it's just like, for people to compare to someone, and when I get compared to Prince and John Legend, I'm like, I that makes me feel good. These are geniuses in the music, within the music industry and stuff. So I don't feel any type of way about that.
No, they're icons. And, if you could do anything to identify with their music, that's a blessing, because I for sure can't hit not one Prince lyric, not one. I mean, I know the song.
Yeah.
Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, but I sing solo that you can't
Yeah.
hear me no more. And so, and that's my design. And that's just one, I recognize I ain't got it. And two, I don't mind being embarrassed in front of my kids, but that's just my
Yeah.
kids. So past that, I'm cool.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
what's your favorite Snoop Dogg memory?
My favorite Snoop Dogg memory. Man, let's see. You know what? Y'all probably gonna kill me, but that whole West Coast, East Coast rivalry that was going on back in the day, and Snoop Dogg was on that stage. And what award show was that? That was
Force Awards.
yeah, man, and Snoop Dogg got on the stage and said what he said and just set it off. I'm just like, this dude is that's gangster. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, hey, but you can't do nothing but respect him because that takes balls. You know what I'm saying? And so, and happy belated birthday to Snoop, you know what I'm saying? And my condolences goes out to him because I know he just lost his mom. But it's just like that takes nothing but balls and courage, you know what I'm saying? And Snoop is a living legend. And I mean, even look at the things that he's doing today. I think he just reached 50, but he got so much respect from people. That's admirable. And something that I also appreciate about him a couple years ago when he came out with his gospel album and stuff, this man can transcend so many genres. It's not even funny.
Come on.
So I respect him as an artist. I respect him as like a person. I respect him as a mogul. I respect him all the way around for sure.
Come on, that's
But
dope.
but definitely at the Source Awards, when he was talking about, the whole East Coast versus West Coast, I was just like, oh shit.
But you know what? What he was able to do is showcase the East Coast. Like, bro, we ain't nothing to play with on the West Coast.
Yeah.
And like we can keep calm, but when it comes to barking, boy, we got that action. And that was something that was showcased and felt. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Money right there, boy.
Yeah.
So, Kevin, bro, you have made it through my show. Before we close out, the floor is yours. Let's run it up. Run up what you want to run up. Shout out what you want to shout out. Do your thing, player.
Yeah, so my name is Kevin Hawkins. Y'all can follow me on Instagram at KHawk Music. That's KHAWK Music. Download my album Mixed Emotions, the studio album, and Mixed Emotions Live. I'm so dynamic especially if you like live music. But it's on Spotify, Apple, Google Play, Tidal Music, YouTube Music. It's on everywhere you can download and stream and buy music. You can also follow me on Facebook, Kevin Hawkins, and it's just a vibe. It's a good balance of traditional R&B mixed with current R&B, and it's something on there for everybody. No matter if you're happy, sad, angry, whatever you're going through, it's something on there for you for sure. Kevin Hawkins again.
That's right. Now, Kevin, if you notice my show is different, it's unique. They said over there, I got to do segments. I'm like, bet, but I ain't going to do segments like y'all. And I'm like, how do I keep that same energy and close out? The viewers know I'm coming. I'm going to hit you with it. You got any questions for me?
I got any questions for you?
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, if I had to ask you a question, as an interviewer, what is something that you feel like you always have to ask, like no matter who it is? What's something that you always, what's the first thing you typically go for when you ask somebody a question?
Bro, my little signature, what I do, bro, is I like to ask people if the game chose them or did they choose the game? Because a lot of the times people don't identify what's something easy for you and it's a gift. And then God has this way of aligning that even if you want to dismiss it, God will align your path. And that's a blessing, whether you identify it because it chose you or you identified it because you recognized it was in you and you arrived to your destination. That's like one of my most favorite questions to ask, and nobody will ever ask anybody unless they got it from me.
Yeah. And what sets you apart?
I'm a chameleon, bro. Like, you feel me? I was born in LA. I'm Mexican, Irish. I have a little bit of black in me, and I have Indian.
Yeah.
And all of that. I come from the gutter, but I was born rich. Like my dad had money, and then he died when I was 4. So I came from straight gutter poor, but having all these abilities and being able to identify from the bottom up and recognizing how things are being done wrong has something I feel like has definitely separated me from other people, and it allows me to recognize what I can do differently so that there can be a change, because so much is negligence and it's not naivety.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
That's my two
hey,
questions.
that was hard, bro. You got a future in this. Hey, something I want to tell you, bro, from the bottom of my heart, bro. I really feel like you would have a cold career in Broadway and musicals.
Yeah,
And so, however you can tap into that, like just don't be afraid of other opportunities connected to your voice,
yeah,
because
for sure.
talent will continue to rise like the cream of the crop, and you just got
Yeah,
to keep on going with it. If it spills over and it spills into something else that's uncharted territory, embrace
yeah,
it, because you have to say yes to things that make sense. And the things that make
absolutely.
sense is, your spirit saying yes. Hey, we got it. That's something we should jump on. And whatever ride it gives us, if it throws us out, spits us out, we spit it out a new monster. And to
Right.
identify that monster and develop that monster is a blessing, because you get to control it.
Yeah, that's a good way to look. That's a good way to look at things. I never thought about it like that.
Yes, sir. On that note,
Appreciate
it's a
that.
contrast uncut. Oh, it's all love, bro. And shout out Cammy. I gotta shout out Cammy. That's my
Yeah,
dog. I gotta make sure I
yeah,
give her love every episode that I get a chance to, because she is a true blessing, and I want to make sure she gets the love on every chance I get to give her love.
yeah, yeah. No, for real. Shout out to Cammy Johnson and LaSheryl Smith, L Group PR Co. Man, those ladies are dynamic, and they help whether it's an actor or artist. Well, we all artists, but they work their asses off, and I got to give it to them.
Come on, come on. On that note, it's Contrast Uncut. It's season 5, episode 36. I got to give huge shout outs to Uncle Snoop's Army and Bobby D Presents. I appreciate you, brothers. I wouldn't be able to do incredibly dope shit like interview Kevin Hawkins, and this brother was dropping gems bigger than, SUVs in Texas, because, they make everything bigger in Texas. I appreciate you, bro, rocking with me and being so transparent with the audience and just giving them a piece of you and a side of you that, you would have swept over if you don't pay attention enough.
Appreciate it, man.
Blessings, King. More success.
All right, talk to you soon.